Bad boy in my city, no diddy, like ha ha. Fuck around to catch 50, no pity, like rah rah. Drop the keys off to me, no Alicia, no problems. Break down all grizzlies, half soft, half whipping till the rock up.
What up, what up, what up? Let's get straight into it, y'all. So, DJ Academic got a little bet going on whether Bortlen is going to use what they gave him to tell. He's calling it the gunner plea. Or is he going to spin the cops? Now, I put one out on this yesterday. But when I seen this, it's like everybody gives a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I do understand where he's coming from. But I'm going to play a little bit of this for you first.
Admits things that the prosecutor also alleged or trying to allege versus your co-defendant. If that's not telling, it can't be telling for Gunna or Bortlen. Here's the thing. I got no horse in the race with none of these people. I like Melly. I hope he didn't do that crime. I hope he comes back home. I told you, Melly sang a whole album for me on the phone. Melly's a really nice guy from what I know. I don't know him as a killer. I would like him to be free because I don't think he's capable of that, and I hope he didn't do it. So I got no horse in the race. But I like to call out the hypocrisy of everybody in the streets. So this is why I call shit the Gunna plea. The Gunna plea is basically taking a plea where you're not going to supposedly get on the stand, but you basically confirm the details that your man did it. That's a Gunna plea, in my opinion, right? They're fighting RICO. They need to prove it's a gang. They need to prove that 2 or more members willingly conspired to commit 2 or more crimes. Gunna, in his plea, while he didn't point at anyone, why he didn't say any names, he confirmed as such. Again, the streets are in shambles because everybody makes an exception for their man. Okay? Even the thug thing. Okay, well, you shouldn't be telling police anything at all. But for thug is allowed to spin the cops and flirt. Which is it? Could y'all just tell me one definition? I'm a math guy. 1 or 0. 1 + 1 isn't kind of 2. It's 2. Just tell me what the rules are. And I would apply it. Again, it's not that I care, but when we're talking about these people, we'll know black and white what it is. Is telling. So if you told the cops something, so you tell me the standard. Are you not allowed to talk to the cops, or are you allowed to talk to the cops as long as you're flirting with them, offering your number to them, and also essentially trying to spin them? What is it? Well, then I hear, well, it's not telling if no one got arrested. Well, let's look at Thug. Pee Wee Roscoe later got locked up for drugs. And I believe in the interrogation video, Thug said, man, me and Roscoe used to serve some guys. Is that telling? I don't know. You tell me. 1 + 1 is 2, not kind of 2. Just tell me what it is. That's where we're at. We're still at the pick.
So I'm going to kind of answer his questions as he goes, right? If you're in an interrogation room and you tell the cops anything that can incriminate anyone, that's telling. I don't give a shit what room you're in. What the fuck? My fault. There's a fucking fly in here. Yeah, so any time you're sitting with police and you're saying something that is incriminating to a friend, to anyone else, it is telling. It's telling. That's snitching. When you go to, let's say, I get arrested. I've been through this before. There's ways that they do things. He's right about certain stuff. Academics is 100% right about certain things. There's ways they do it. They'll hand you a piece of paper. They hand you a piece of paper And they'll say, hey, just write down some names. But what is that going to lead to? You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, if you real, like the first thing you're gonna do is throw that motherfucking piece of paper right at them. Like, get out of here. Right? And they're gonna take it and they're gonna put you in your cell. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but when people are fighting for their lives, I think they're gonna look at that little piece of paper a little more. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there is things that they do to get you to kind of like cooperate without fully cooperating, right? So there's definitely ways that they can do these things that will, the gray areas, like he's saying.
And choosing of every single person. Now, in the case of YNW Bortlen, I wouldn't make this a big thing. I really don't care to make it a big thing. But the reason why I'm calling it gunner play, and I'm telling you ahead of time, is because the stars have lined up that his case will hurt Melly. I don't care what nobody says. I'm going to lay out some of the facts, and then we're going to play some of these videos. Because per these lawyers, and I seen Bortlen's lawyer came out, and of course, which attorney have you ever heard come out to say, no, my client did cooperate, or my client will cooperate, or my client's a rat? You're never. That's why you pay your lawyer.
That's a fact. You're never gonna hear that unless they made it already a known fact that he's gonna take the stand and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But they made it very clear that he does not have to say anything. So when they do ask him these questions, like he basically wants to know, like, bro, like, let's keep it real. Like, is he really gonna have to sit down and say nothing? I believe he could sit down and say whatever he wants. He could tell the truth. He can lie. I don't know about bringing up, because once he takes a deal, the deal's over. It's over. He can't be fucked with after that. I don't think they're gonna, like, just because then that would be like a kind of a forceful thing, like, oh, you didn't do what we wanted you to do when we gave you this plea deal. You didn't make it clear that I had to tell you this exactly. You know what I'm saying? So you can't put the two murders back on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't put those back on me. That's not what y'all said. You know what I mean? That's not what was in my, you know what I'm saying, in my paperwork. Like basically, if he says his same exact story, YNW Melly didn't do anything, I dropped him off, and we were in a drive-by. If that's what he says, that's what he says, right? They can't go back on it. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I feel. They can't go back on what they gave him already.
However, here's the thing, Joe. Because
But Ak is making a valid point. I understand where he's coming from.
I'm not saying plea deals are means you're snitching, but you also have to understand the overall picture. And by the way, here's the thing too. How many times have we seen lawyers come back and say, or a rapper or whoever say their lawyers didn't tell them the truth? Nigga, you know what it was. That's what Gunna said. Oh, I got tricked. You paid millions of dollars for an attorney to come back and say you got tricked. Come on.
Now, I gotta give you something on that. Lawyers do trick niggas, bro. Lawyers do trick you. I don't care how much money you're giving them. All right, I promise you, they trick you. I've been there. I've done that. It's happened. And that's on my mama, bro. Like, that shit happens. They will tell you, oh, this is the best deal you're going to get. This is this. This is not going to happen to you. This is not, and then it's a whole different situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, they do lie, bro. They do snake you sometimes. I guess it depends on the lawyer. That's really what it is. So I'm it's really, you know what I'm saying? Like, they do that.
Again, 1 + 1 is 2. Don't tell me it's kind of 2. All right.
It ain't kind of 2. It's definitely a fact that they do bullshit. They will.
So let me go over a few things with this Bortlen case. I'm going to ask y'all questions because people seem to believe that the prosecutors are getting a salary and the DA that's elected in certain counties and municipalities, they're just sitting back and they are just giving out deals because they like giving out deals. I don't think that's how the criminal justice system works. They're usually giving out deals because, yes, they're trying to get a conviction, but they're also trying to further whatever their agenda is to supposedly stop crime. Okay. So for the people who are in complete belief that Bortlen, his plea.
Now, right here, I believe that they're giving him this because he's no help either way. I don't believe he's no help either way because, first of all, he's been there this long and hasn't snitched on his man, hasn't did anything foul. Like, he hasn't. So they're sitting back like, well, what are we gonna do? We can't. You know what I mean? Like, they could have threw him to the wolves and said, "Oh, we're taking this to trial or whatever," but they probably knew that they couldn't make it stick. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because they would need both of their, they would need Melly and him to make it stick, right? But they severed their cases in half, so now they're on 2 different trials. So it kind of hurts them in a way. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I feel.
He is just, no, who gives a fuck? Why didn't he wait until Melly got tried? Why not? Why not? Why take the...
I kind of agree with him right there. It's weird of it's definitely, the time is weird.
plea before Melly's trial? If we believe that his plea could never help Melly, why take the plea before the Melly trial started? Okay. Now, there's a lot of talk. Oh, well, he's going to be talking about the tampering stuff, not the murder. I'll bring another thing into perspective. There's something called circumstantial evidence. I'm going to use.
He definitely can't talk about no tampering. That's one thing. If he talks about any tampering or anything that went on with this case other than what he told them, since the beginning, we got into a drive-by shooting. I dropped Melly off. We got into a drive-by shooting, and that's still all I know. If he tells him any more than that, then yes, he's snitching, and it's gonna hurt YNW Melly.
Use my favorite artist of all time as an example. My favorite artist of all time, everybody should know, is a guy named. There's no gravesite. There's no corpse. There's not a skeleton. There's nothing. The guy just disappeared and vanished off the earth. Yet they did initially gain a conviction. How does it relate to Melly? Well, there's nothing that's dead to rights that links Melly to this case. Okay? They have things that suggest, that point to him being the killer, but I seen him kill him. There's not one video, no surveillance. They don't have a murder weapon, and the 2 that died can't talk. And the ones that's alive, he ain't say really nothing either so far. Okay. So what does that mean? Well, the only way for them to get this as a conviction is going to be something called you're going to try to convict this person off circumstantial evidence. Now, the reason why I brought Vibes Cartel is that he went to jail and was sentenced 35 to life because of what's called circumstantial evidence. Now, circumstantial evidence, if you guys don't know what that is basically providing again, there's no dead to rights. There's no murder weapon, no eyewitnesses directly. They basically use evidence and paint it in a way where it was impossible that he wasn't the guy who did the crime. Okay? Hey, if you're the only person at the crime scene, somebody's neck is chopped off, you have a fucking, or maybe you got caught 5 minutes from a crime scene, you got a knife that's bloody. Again, there's no dead to rights shit, but circumstantial evidence, if you got the machete in your hand, there's the guy blood on the machete, you add up a bunch of stuff and you present it to a jury, and if the jury says there's no possible way this guy couldn't do the crime, they're most likely going to vote you guilty. So that's the case with Melly. No eyewitnesses, no incriminating, like, oh, I did it. No videotape, no audio, no confession over the jail phone. They're trying to get him with circumstantial evidence. Now, the first time they did this trial, it was actually a mistrial. Allegedly, it was one juror, but some people say it's two. They held out and they said, no matter what, we ain't voting guilty. The judge actually accepted the non-unanimous decision and said, we're going to do a hung jury. It allowed for the state to refile the charges, and with refiling the charges meant he's going to do a new trial. So why did I go through all that? This is what anybody with a brain could say, and this is why I keep saying what Bortlen is doing is a gonna plea. Bortlen is going to have to do a proffer, and also he's pled no contest, but he got adjudicated guilty on accessory for murder after the fact. Okay? Now, this is where I come back to. I started my soliloquy. For me, 1 + 1 is 2. It's not kind of 2. It's not like, maybe. No, it's 2. So tell me what it is. Tell me what it's not. If Bortlen, by the nature of his plea, is essentially admitting that he was accessory to the murder, it would mean that you have some knowledge that a murder was committed. Now, does it mean you could point to the finger who did it? No. However, if you remember the YNW Melly case, there's multiple things that happened. Okay? Not only did the two guys get shot within, seemingly was about 5 to 10 seconds, and they got killed, executed while supposedly one of them was sleeping. They drove to a location, they hopped out the car, and they staged what they would try to tell the cops, or not they, but Bortlen would try to tell the cops is a drive-by. The cops realized it was bullshit. Same bullets, bullet casings were found in the car that they claimed was the gun, whatever ops they had pulled up and shot him with, right? Okay. After that, Melly supposedly goes somewhere. He brings the bodies to the hospital. You're naive to believe that what Bortlen did, and he has a proffer to come up, is essentially not helping the state with the circumstantial evidence that they need. Let me ask y'all a question, and I'm going to keep saying it again. 1 + 1 for me is 2. They ain't kind of 2. If Bortlen gets to that proffer, and yeah, let's say he doesn't say, oh, I saw Melly do it. Well, technically, you wouldn't see Melly do it. He's driving. Melly's right behind him. What, he's like looking over his shoulder on some exorcist shit? No, he didn't see him. Okay, let's say even if he didn't say, well, the shots did get fired in the car, which would basically mean, and again, this is exactly how I believe this is going to go down. He's going to confirm some facts that is going to allow the prosecutors to paint a image to the jury that it's no way that Melly didn't do it. Okay? Now, I see a lot of people, and shit, this was Savage's demeanor too. Yo, nah, he about to get in there and spin them. He about to spin these niggas. That goes to our second part of me and Savage's bet. The second part of our bet is that I believe that his case, in his plea deal, it will say, because the proffer is part of the plea, if called, you will testify to the truthfulness of the proffer you take. Now, I will admit, his.
But I gotta say this: whose truthfulness? His truthfulness, not the truthfulness to the actual case. You feel me? Like, he can say it's his truth. Like, this is my truth. I don't know what happened. Like, we got shot at. Like I told y'all, I dropped YNW Melly off, and he could keep saying that over and over and over again. And that's what I believe he's gonna do, or at least try to do, because this is the way I see it. And I kind of feel like I'm talking to Akademiks straight up here, but I know I'm not. Because you got to look at it like this: if this man wanted to snitch, how long has he been there? He should have did it already. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not getting emotionally involved in any of this shit, but it would be surprising if he goes and fully tells on him, I guess.
Proffer, if he,
it would be very surprising to me when he don't really have to. They clearly state he does not have to talk. He doesn't. And even if he does have to take the stand, if they make him take the stand, he could say exactly what he's been saying.
He lies in his proffer, during the proffer, it won't affect his plea deal. The judge made that clear. So his deal is done. However, remember, all the dismissed charges that he got in exchange for this plea and proffer, those all could be refiled, include murder charges. They could refile them. So again, if you think the jury is just showing up, or not jury, the prosecutor is showing up to just listen to this guy tell some DuckTales, you could say whatever you want. But this is why I think it's a gunna play. I want to play you what his lawyer said and what he said. And I think what his lawyer said is very important.
Important, because that means he has not admitted guilt. He's not admitted that he's done anything wrong. And he's certainly not admitted or given information about anybody else. He's been found guilty, but in exchange, the state has dismissed the 2 murder counts, the conspiracy.
Now, to be honest, and this is why I keep saying the gunna play, what the lawyer just said is very important. And this is where the no contest comes in, because even though he's adjudicated guilty by the judge, his no contest plea doesn't say he did it. He's not admitting that he did it, right? So that's important. So essentially what this spells out to us is that we're going to expect, or we're going to try to see if Bortlen could walk into the interrogation room and spin, or not interrogation room, sorry, the proffer meeting, and spin the district attorneys out of Broward County. So he's going to talk, but we're hoping his talking is doing what Thug did, doing what Woody supposedly did, lie snitching. Oh, nah, dropped him over to a bitch house. Melly, he wasn't in the car. That's what we're hoping. But in theory, and this is where, again, I'm also, I'll tell you what I think about his lawyer, or even him saying whatever. I've never heard a lawyer come on and be like, my client's just snitching. No. Your lawyer's job, Gunna's lawyer said, oh, no, this is out for a plea. You're not telling. Then you hear another nigga say, told. Everybody's lawyer basically, and you're going to hear him say, oh, I don't think the person was pleading. But it could definitely be used against somebody else. That's why I keep saying, if this nigga is so solid and ain't finna kind of tell, why even take a proffer at all? Why even do a deal before Melly goes to trial. That's my only.
That is the one thing that I'm gonna agree with him with. Like the one thing I'm gonna agree with, like, is that why is it happening before Melly's trial? That's given a funny vibe. But again, they can't change what's on paper. Like, I don't believe that they're gonna sit there and like, all right, let me give y'all a little something. I was in a situation where when they offer a plea, they literally offer the plea and then put years above my head so that I would have to say whatever I know. But again, thank God I didn't know what they wanted me to know. I didn't know anything. I did not know. So there's no reason for me to say anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing for me to say. You understand? Like, you're beat. You could do whatever you want, say whatever you want. The questions you want answered, I can't answer. So that's the kind of the way I'm seeing it with him. It's like, I can't answer these questions. I don't know. Like, that's because this is not what happened. In his eyes, in Bortlen's eyes, this is not what happened. We got shot at. That's it. Because like he said, there's no witnesses. There's nobody saying that Melly did it. There's only the ballistics and that kind of evidence and all that, whatever evidence they have, right? But they don't have nobody straight out saying he did it. They don't have witnesses. They don't have none of that stuff. They got other things. You know what I mean? There's nobody talking. So if he just keeps it on some, when they do ask him a question, because when they asked me a question, I was like, that's the dumbass question you want? That's a dumbass question to want. Like, you wasted all our time to ask this question. Like, 3 seconds in this bitch, and you asking that question that I don't even know the answer to on some real shit. That was stupid. And then they still have to give you your deal.
Thing. Why do the deal before Melly goes to trial? If the prosecutor is done guaranteed y'all, oh, this won't get used. All right, well, if it won't get used,
honestly, I think it's to scare him into thinking that he told. You understand? Like, oh shit, like my man just got offered a plea. What is he saying? Get him scared and riled up. You know what I'm saying? But I think Melly knows better than that. I think they're gonna spin this well. I really do. I think if they are being smart about this, they're gonna spin this well. Because see, they have more sources than regular people. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a way to get notes or words to Bortlen. You know what I'm saying? From Melly to Bortlen. There's a way. I know jail. I know the system. There's a way to get him. You know what I'm saying? You could send it through 400 people. Like, yo, tell him this. You know what I'm saying? Like, or through a piece of paper. One little, you know what I'm saying, sentence. Like, you feel me? Like, and send it through a whole jail, a whole nother jail. Have a female go tell this person to tell that person. I'm telling you, I've done it all. Jail calls, like phone to phone, video, phone to phone. Like, I've done this. So, like, yeah, it if he don't say anything at all, and he does spin the cops, and Melly knows that he's spinning the cops, and then he just sticks to what he's sticking to, Melly, like, nigga, I don't know nothing still. I ain't taking nothing out. Prove that I did it. This could be either the worst for him, or it could be the absolute win of the century, like, promise.
We'll do the plea afterwards. You're still in jail. Why do the plea?
And give what's called a proffer. Typically, when you hear the word proffer, especially in a criminal case, it's when a witness offers information or will explain what they would testify to if called at trial or a hearing.
Very important. By the way, I've heard his lawyer is a decent lawyer.
I am Agent X. I am about to reveal my X factors.
That already should say, if they're taking a proffer from you, it should, by the lawyer's own admission, you should expect them to try to use what you say in a proffer in a criminal proceeding, possibly where you might have to testify. So this notion, and I've never seen on the paperwork, you are not required to testify. Bitch, where? When have we ever seen any plea deal where they just confirm that you will never have to testify? But
yeah, that's true. They don't, that ain't never gonna happen. That he's right about that.
That's the thing people are doing to try to hype the public up to say, oh, this can't be telling because he's not taking a stand. And this is where the gray area comes in, because maybe the telling was in the proffer. Maybe the telling was in the plea.
I like the way he said that too. Ain't gonna lie. Yeah, it could be in the plea itself. You know what I mean? You pled out to no contest, but you pled guilty to other things. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But
y'all have to let me know, is the only way you told is if you did the 6-9, which is get up on the stand and point fingers?
It's unfortunate that we use that word.
no, that's not the only way you could tell. That's a fact. That is not the only way you could tell. There's multiple different ways you could tell, bro. Like I said, I've seen it before. I've been asked before. Put down names on a piece of paper, nobody will know nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a billion ways to tell. And that's been going on for our whole lives. There's so many different ways you can tell on somebody. Like, you know what I'm saying? But the smartest thing to do in any situation with cops is to shut the fuck up, for real. Just be quiet, bro. Don't say nothing. You are making yourself, the more you say, they're trained to get whatever they can out of you.
Today in court, because that's not what's going to happen in this case. Bortlen is not going to sit down and give a lengthy proffer or answer questions about what he would testify to if he were called as a witness, because we don't anticipate.
You just define that's a proffer. Then you say he's not going to do it?
Anticipate him being called as a witness at any trial or any hearing.
We don't anticipate him being called at a trial or any hearing. Now, that don't seem like a man who's speaking like he's sure. This is a lawyer. We don't.
That's a fact. I believe that he can definitely be called for, yeah, he could definitely be pulled up on a stand or whatever. But if he didn't give anything, there's nothing to give, and there's no reason for him to be on the stand. You understand me? You understand what I'm saying? Like, if he just went in there and said some bullshit to them that is not going to work in their favor, then they're just going to let it rock. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be like a fear type tactic. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they trying to get YNW Melly worried. Like, you know, because now he's in jail. He's going to feel all alone. He don't got, you know what I'm saying? Like, now he's going to feel like his man might be telling in that proverb or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna get into his head in jail, you know what I'm saying? Like, your mind goes crazy in jail, so you'll think the worst in jail. Like, you'll be thinking the worst of everybody. Like, everybody forgot about you, nobody gives a fuck. Like, you start getting mad, you know what I'm saying? That happens, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's human. So I think that's what they want. They want him to like squirm a little bit. Almost.
Don't anticipate. Well, I'll give you one better, chat, because I like to put these things on the table because you got to. Okay.
I think he just maybe wanted to just get it over with. I guess that's what I would think.
Pee-wee?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what's important is that, remember DK? This guy's DK from the YSL trial. He was the first one to take the plea. I just want to show you the games the prosecutors play. Here we go.
Way before Stoner or anytime.
Yeah, so basically he's gonna go on to say that he took the plea and was told that he didn't have to take the stand either, and then they made him take the stand. That's the point that Ak is trying to make right here, because it is very possible. But I believe they did it in this situation only because they did admit to YSL being a gang. So therefore, that was something to use against Young Thug. If that man, YNW Bortlen, doesn't say anything that's going to hurt him in his trial, they're not going to use it. And they still have to give him his plea. They still have to give him what they gave him. Like, you know what I mean? That's a risk they were willing to take, and it could work in YNW Melly's favor and Bortland's favor.
With everything?
Yep.
First, he said, I admitted that YSL was a gang first. So I took the plea first.
I think they did.
But they just never released it.
Yeah, I was nobody to them because yeah.
You did take the stand.
Yeah.
That was part of the plea deal.
Yeah.
Aha. Okay. So if you took the same plea deal that Gunna took, how do you feel about Gunna taking his plea deal?
I don't feel no kind of way about nobody, man. I'm grown, man. I'm 33 years old, man. I done did it all, man.
We don't need you. Just sign on the dotted line. Sound familiar?
Gunna's plea deal precluded
But they
him.
tell me, Vlad, this, we might not even need you. We might not even call you. This is just, we just have to put this on there. And my lawyers agreeing with this too. Like,
yeah.
So it's like.
Ironic. So his lawyers agreeing with the prosecutors. Oh yeah, they're not going to call you. You're good. Nah, just sign. Come on.
Yeah, see, I told you, lawyers be bullshitting. They do. They'll bullshit you for real. They will definitely they'll spin you. They'll fuck you. No homo. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you got to watch out for that. But I do understand what he's saying with this, but I believe this is a little different because they admitted to YSL being a gang. So they can use that against Thug. That's why they put him on the stand. If YNW Bortlen doesn't say anything that can hurt YNW Melly, I don't think they'll use it. I don't think they'll have him go to the stand because there's no point. They'll just take him to trial, or he'll take his plea, YNW Melly, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what's gonna happen if he doesn't say anything that could hurt him. And that's about it.
We're gonna get out of the case. Come on, just sign. says this snitching thing is so fluid, why the question should be for Bortlen, why take a plea before your man's goes to trial?
Especially not one involving Mel.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I really agree with that is fishy, is him taking it before. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, maybe they just want to get this shit out the way right now. Like, let's get him out the way and let's focus on him. You know what I mean? Instead of using our focus on somebody else that ain't helping and ain't doing nothing, let's focus on taking down the big shark right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way I feel. Shout out to Akademiks. You already know. Thanks for tuning in again. I guess this would be a part 2 of the Sweetheart deal. So it's part 2 of the Sweetheart deal. You already know what's up. It's Jux, Catch a Jux TV. You know, I saw that and I had to just kind of like, I wanted to clear up some things, not, you know, not debate crazy. Just, you know, I just was trying to, gotta help people understand sometimes. Like, there is a difference between certain kinds of telling. There is. It's not just as easy as taking a stand or being in an interrogation room. Like, I mean, it could be that easy, but it's not that easy. It's not like you're just snitching in one way. You could snitch in multiple ways. You know what I'm saying? You could be out here on the street right now and say, oh, I think that house is selling drugs out of it. And that's snitching. You just snitched, but nobody knows you snitched. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody has any idea you snitched. And basically put a bullseye on your head. You know what I'm saying? So there's plenty of ways people could snitch. You know what I mean? So, yo, it's Jux. Thank you for tuning in. As always, ayo to the death of me. I love y'all. If you love me, hit that subscribe, like, comment, bell, all that. It's all love, baby. Till I'm back again with another one. I'm out.
Jokes. Bad boy in my city, no diddy, like ha ha. Fuck around to catch 50, no pity, like rah rah. Drop the keys off to me, no Alicia, no problems. Break down all grizzlies, half soft, half whipping till it rock up.